Welcome in, everybody, to a brand new episode of Audionots, your final frontier of pop culture, where we endeavor into space to talk about all the stuff that's cool, fun, and hip. I am Eric Oldboy, along the Jedi Master, Mr. Rin, online together to bring you the most exciting chat you've ever heard. How's it going, Rin?
Yep, true story. It's going good. We're still quarantined, COVID cast.
Another COVID cast. This is what, our fourth one?
Yeah, we're almost to drinking age.
The Drinking Age podcast. What number is this one? 19, 20?
This is 20.
Number 20.
Yeah.
Hot diggity. We're no longer in our teens. You'd think by number 20 we would get good at the audio portion of it, but we're still figuring that out.
That's why we're knots.
Yeah.
We're not audio knots. We need to decide how to do the seasons. Like, is it season 1? How many episodes? Sort of thing.
Maybe like old school TV, where old school TV seems like they always had like 24 episodes in a season.
Yeah.
So season 1 is 24 episodes. I don't know, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's go 24. Even number. I like it.
Yeah, Jack Bauer would approve.
Yeah.
He always liked 24. So what have you been doing? What have you been up to? Keeping yourself busy?
Yeah, I picked up an old hobby.
Oh yeah? What's that? Pokemon cards?
No. I setting up a new tank for a fish.
Oh, nice. What kind of fish you getting?
Well, I used to like to raise a lot of fish back in the day.
Yeah.
And I just kind of stopped. Then we're quarantined, so what can I do to waste my time? So I set up a new tank for my betta fish.
Oh, nice. Is this the same betta fish you've had forever, or is this a new one?
No, I haven't got the fish yet, but my tank's ready. I'm getting a new fish.
Nice. That's exciting. You still have your dragon, your lizard?
Yeah, still rocking.
Will they be buddies? Will their tanks be next to each other?
No, because my fish tank it's kind of small. It's like a 2.5 gallon tank.
Yeah.
So that's in my room, and then little Beardy's over in the living room.
Oh, he gets to chill in the main room with everybody.
Yeah.
Do you ever let him out? Let him roam around?
Yeah, but it's just kind of lazy. It just lays there the whole time, and then when it starts running, it tries to run away. And you're like, where do you go?
It's like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, and it gets all mad if you try to catch it.
Does it bite? Have you ever been bit by it?
No.
Does it bite though? Could it bite you?
It could, but my bearded dragon's pretty tame, so
Oh, nice.
I'm a dragon tamer myself, so.
Were you telling me before, I can't remember if it was offline or online, that you thought maybe it was Prego? Did you ever figure out if it was going to lay some eggs or not?
Well, I made him a sandbox for her to scratch and claw and dig.
Yeah.
Put her in there and she didn't do anything, so I'm just, she didn't like it. She's trying to get out. So I'm like, okay. She keeps, because it's right next to her tank.
Yeah.
And she keeps trying to go back to her tank. So I'm like, all right, man.
So she wasn't having it. So maybe she wasn't pregnant after all.
Yeah, I felt her stomach, and I can't really feel anything. So I'm like, whatever.
Man, I have no idea how you know if a lizard's pregnant. It's information I don't have.
You have YouTube for that.
Oh, well, YouTube knows everything. So there you go.
And then you also have Sensei Google.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube, Google. You never asked Mr. Bing? Chandler Bing, if you will. So what have you been watching? You been watching anything good?
I've been keeping up with Kim's Convenience.
Yeah? Where
I'm
you at now?
on season 4.
Ooh, snap. You're almost caught up.
And I got to that one joke you're telling me about the where they're faking accents.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
that episode's hilarious.
Yeah. And then he's doing Australian accent. Dude, that's hilarious.
And yeah, they're like, isn't that cultural appropriation? They're like, no, not a bit.
Yeah.
Not even a
But
little bit.
Other than that, I started watching that Amazon show we talked about. Did we talk about it?
Upload? Oh, yeah. What'd you think?
I'm I think 4 episodes in, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like it.
Yeah, that show, it caught me so off guard. So I've watched the whole thing. It's only 10 episodes. Yeah, it was easy. We liked it. It's been a while since I binge watched something with the fam, but my daughter and wife both liked it. And we binged that thing in 2 days. So we watched about 5 episodes per day, and everybody really enjoyed it. I was surprised because I thought that from the trailer that it was kind of going to be like a cheesy sitcom, and it's definitely a
Yeah.
funnier show, but it's so clever and well made that I really liked it.
Yeah, I was telling someone that it was like a rom-com slash mystery show.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
they had like its overarching like storyline that I'm still getting into. So I'm excited to see what happens in the end.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I really liked it. So yeah, anybody who hasn't watched Upload on Amazon Prime, it's fantastic. I mean, it's got good acting. It has a lot
Yeah.
of really clever details. And what's kind of cool about it is it only takes place, I think, 13 years in the future. If I recall, it said at the beginning of the year was 2033.
Right.
So that's not too far from now. And it was kind of interesting in a few of the segments when they were showing like the real world. People were wearing masks and everything. I know this show was
Yeah.
made before that, so they could
Right.
sense it coming.
I like the their phones with the hand out, like do the little hand, little L on the hand, like whoop, you know.
Yeah, it's like for those who haven't seen it, it's almost like they're wearing like a Fitbit or a smartwatch, and that is their phone. So when they give like the loser symbol with their hands, the phone
Yeah.
appears between their thumb and their upstanding finger, and I think that's really cool too.
Some may call it like a Jedi mind trick, you know. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
This is the phone call you need to make.
Yeah.
But yeah, that show's got lots of good jokes. They keep the mystery going. You're only on episode
Yeah.
4, so the basics of the show for anybody who hasn't seen it yet is when you die in 2033 or you're about to die, you could choose between being uploaded into basically becoming a virtual, almost Sims-like character, or just go ahead and die like normal people.
Yeah.
And this guy gets uploaded, and we're not sure because he's so young and good looking whether or not his death was accidental or on purpose. And so the
Right.
season kind of progresses through them trying to figure that out.
Is there going to be a season 2?
I hope so, because they didn't conclude it this season. So I hope so.
Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the mystery aspect was what kept my wife going about the show.
Yeah.
Because like she really wants to know what happens, you know. So
yeah,
it kept her engaged.
And we were talking about it too, because they do a pretty good job of misleading. So you'll be like, oh, it's totally so-and-so. And then 2 episodes later, like, oh, no, it wasn't them. Then you're like, I got it, though. It's totally this person. And then, 2 episodes later, like, oh, shit, wasn't them either.
Yeah,
So
I've been doing that the whole time, yeah.
Yeah,
I
really
bet
like
it's
that.
this person. Okay.
It makes it more fun because you're trying to kind of play along with the story. And they, like I said, I was just really impressed not only with the jokes that they do, but how good the acting is. In fact, I looked up some of the actors. I never seen the lady programmer later, his angel. I'm like, I don't recognize her, but so I looked her up, and this is her first real big acting gig because prior to this TV show, she was a singer. She has about 4 albums out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, her name is Allie. I want to say Allie Andy, and I looked her up on Spotify, and she's fine. Not really my style. It's kind of like poppy, slower music.
Right.
But yeah, she was a musician long before she decided to try to be an actress. So I really dig her, though. She's a good lead.
That's cool. Yeah. So far, I really like the show.
Yeah. So Upload is 2 thumbs up on Amazon Prime. If you haven't seen it, you should totally watch it. Have you been watching anything else?
I started watching it again. What's that one show? No. What I can't say. I can't say, dude.
Never Have I Ever? That one?
Yeah. So I started watching episode 2, and then I got back to it, and all of a sudden I'm like, continue, and it skipped to like episode 7. I'm like,
oh no,
what the hell?
This bills watch it.
So I think my sister's watching it. I'm like, so yeah.
It's a good show though too. I really liked it. So we finished that one as well. Once again, it was pretty easy. It was only 10 episodes at like a half hour a pop. But as far as those kind of teenage comedy dramas, it's really well done too. I really liked it.
Dan, you've been finishing shows left and right, yo.
It's because we were only watching a few shows. I think, honestly, we're still not watching a ton of TV during the middle of the day. A little bit here and there. But we were watching Upload and Never Have I Ever. Those were like the main shows that we've been watching all week. So it's pretty easy to finish them. I really like it, though. It's another good one.
Yeah, because those shows, I have to like watch it with my wife, and my wife's still working, so I have to wait for her to be free. Otherwise, I'll binge it too.
Yeah. Over on Disney Plus, though, I finished Clone Wars, not the season finale, but the series finale. That show is over.
Was it good?
It's so good, dude. Everybody who hasn't thought, I like Star Wars, okay, but I don't want to waste my time watching Clone Wars. It's worth the time investment. It takes a while. It took a while for me to kind of get going on it. I'd say 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes into the first season before I'm like, okay, I really like this. And then it just grew and grew and grew and grew. And this last, they did like they finished it with I think a 4-episode arc, so it could totally be like a 2-hour movie if they wanted to just edit it together.
Oh,
And it
damn.
was fantastic. It was so good. It was better than the last, couple Star Wars movies they put out.
Damn. Dude, your wife might hate this, but we should totally contact our Star Wars guru and get him on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get him to guest now that we've kind of figured out the whole guest starring thing.
Yeah. I mean, if he can't video in, he could always just call in,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
And
think
he
though
would,
that he plays some of those online video games, so videoing in might actually be easier for him even.
right. And I'm sure he'll talk from the whole episode just
Oh, yeah.
about that show.
They did a really good job. I think what was nice about having all those seasons is they were able to flesh out the character of Ahsoka Tano. And
Right.
so I actually like her better than Rey now because I think that they made her a real BA. She's totally cool. She's got a normal attitude, And so I'm excited, really excited now to see the live version of that character appear in The Mandalorian.
You think Disney really wanted to get the last season of Clone Wars just to promote Ahsoka for The Mandalorian?
Oh, totally. Because Dave Filoni is the main producer of the Clone Wars, and he's also one of the main writers of Mandalorian. So this guy, he's been dreaming about this, I think, for a long time.
Nice. It's like it's his one chance.
That's he's like, this is it. In fact, I saw something. I didn't click on it. I probably should have, but it said that he had figured out a way for himself to get to be able to write and direct a Star Wars movie, but he wasn't sure if it would happen or not yet. So I don't know what that means.
Would he do like an Ahsoka solo movie?
Maybe. I feel like it would definitely be something pulled from the Clone Wars era because that was kind of his baby for like 6 or 7 years. So, but there were so many good characters that you could probably pull out of that particular storyline and do an entire movie just about, So,
but then again, you're missing the whole period of from episode 3 to episode 6.
Yeah,
right. Of her absence.
Yeah, where the hell did she go? Maybe that's what they do. Maybe after she finishes her stint on Mandalorian, the actress will still be the right age, and they can move her right into her own major film. That'd be pretty cool. I'd really like that with her double lightsabers jumping around, fighting everybody.
Let me ask you this: would you rather see her after the Mandalorian or before the Mandalorian as a movie?
Well, now that you brought it up, I mean, if it happens after the Mandalorian, well, shoot, maybe before, maybe the time right before. So it's like you said, the same time as when Luke and Leia are running around doing stuff.
Right.
Because what was she doing this whole time? I mean, she was connected to Anakin for all beforehand, and then all of a sudden she just disappears, and it's clearly that they just didn't know that story didn't exist at the time, so they're having to kind of fill it in. So yeah, I guess it could be like a fill-in movie where you figure out that maybe she's been off fighting something completely different that we didn't even realize was happening.
Then we could see Vader back in the picture.
Yeah, that'd be because I saw something today even on the Twitters saying that they've hired Hayden Christensen again to play Anakin, and it's like, what is he gonna be playing Anakin in?
Like a voiceover?
They didn't say that. They just said that they'd hired him again. And I'm like, shoot, man, maybe this is it. Maybe you just figured it out. Maybe we stumbled onto it and they're going to give us a pre OG trilogy Star Wars. And then she'll have some kind of cut scenes where she remembers back to when he was still Anakin.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. So I think, I see a lot of people. It's funny how I noticed on Twitter, because we have a ton of Star Wars followers on our Twitter account. And so I see just an absolute ton of Star Wars stuff. And they're always arguing. You have a handful of different camps. And I think it's almost built based on people's age. You have the younger generation that grew up on the prequels, and they dig them, and they love Anakin and all those guys, and they understand that the OG trilogy is still pretty good, but they love, the Return of the Sith or whatever the hell it's called, the best, Revenge of the Sith, right? Is that
Yeah.
it? What's number 3 called? Something like Revenge of the Sith?
I think so.
Something
I don't
like
know.
that. But yeah, so you got them still loving that, but they hate the prequels, and you have the original older people who are like, 40 up, who hate all the new stuff. They didn't like the prequels. They don't like the sequels. To them, the only Star Wars that matters is the original Star Wars. Then you have a bunch of people that only like Star Wars when it was owned exclusively by George Lucas. Anything made by Disney is garbage. And so you got these Star Wars fans online arguing with each other like a bunch of idiots. And it's just like, come on, dude. Like, any Star Wars is good Star Wars. I mean, there's definitely some that's better than others. But anytime you get to see people run around in space, that's a good time. I don't understand what people are so pissed about.
It's like, end of the day, you're still going to spend money to go see it,
Yeah. So I don't get, there are a lot of complainers out there. But because of that, I've had more free time being home all day long. I've watched one Star Wars movie per day so far. And I started at the beginning. So I've seen all 3 prequels again. And I watched Solo yesterday, and I've watched about 30 minutes of Rogue One today. So I've been going in chronological order. And honestly, this is another thing I can tell you. If you watch the Clone Wars, it makes the prequels so much better, because I was kind of in that camp where I really did not like the prequels. I thought they were kind of lame. And they're still terrible acting. I don't know why the acting was so bad. But they make so much more sense now. Having learned all this other information, it's kind of sad that it took 7 seasons of a TV show to fill in all the gaps, but it makes so much sense now that I really dig it.
I heard they blamed George Lucas for all the bad acting because he really wanted like a specific way.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and it's so weird because the acting wasn't bad in the original trilogy. So, and we know these people are good actors. Like, they've all grown up to be perfectly good actors. So it's so weird. So weird.
I saw one of the tweets where someone replied saying that Empire was at the very bottom of his list. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Dude. Sometimes I feel like people say things that they know is opposite of the majority just so that they could be different. It's like, I don't like Empire. My favorite is the Phantom Menace. It's like, get the hell out of here, bro. Yeah. Nobody's favorite is Phantom Menace.
And how is Empire last on your list, dude? It's like, dude, have you seen Star Wars?
Yeah. My guess, it's probably some sort of 14-year-old that took a break from Fortnite just to bitch and complain for a second because he doesn't like older people telling him what's what. Oh. So good on him. I'm sure he doesn't listen, so he can suck a fat one. He needs to learn to like them all. But I think all Star Wars talk. Did you have a chance to watch any of that documentary they have about the Mandalorian yet?
No, I haven't even touched Disney Plus.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that either. It was funny for my wife's birthday. We're doing a quarantine birthday, and we decided I was able to find on YouTube and stream them on the big TV, first-person videos of every single Disneyland ride. And so, because she loves going to Disneyland, so we're doing kind of like a vacations birthday. So we put it on, and it ran for the majority of the day. And we were watching all these rides, and it was making us wish we were at Disneyland. But it was still pretty fun because we'd been there not too long ago. But I was thinking about when I was watching it, that Splash Mountain. I'm like, what was Splash Mountain based on? Because almost all the rides are based on something. And then it occurred to me that it was based on a super old movie, I believe from the mid to late 40s, called The Song of the South. Have you ever seen the movie The Song of the South?
So no, I don't know what it is.
Okay, Disney doesn't want you to know what it is because they're super embarrassed by how racist it is. And so I thought, God, I wonder if I could find The Song of the South to watch somewhere. Because the only thing I can remember about it is it was another one of those kind of like Mary Poppins, where it had both the cartoon characters and the real life people, which was pretty amazing for the 40s or when this thing was filmed. And the one song that always stuck with me was the Zippity Doo Dah song. Zippity Doo Dah, Zippity Day. That song.
Right.
You ever heard that song at least?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that song's from The Song of the South. And so I kept looking. I'm like, I went to, if you want to find anything, people go to Reddit. And so sure enough,
Reddit knows all, man.
Reddit has everything.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, on Reddit, I was able to find the Song of the South link. And it was funny because the government unbeknownst to me, keeps a website called archive.org. And on archive.org, the government takes all of the movies that have worked through the copyrights and no longer can be copyrighted because they're sold, and it adds them to this archive. So they're just kind of saved for prosperity. And Song of the South is on archive.org. So if you want to watch Song of the South, it's on there. It's only like an hour and a half long. And I got up early one morning, couldn't sleep. I got up about 6:30, and I watched Song of the South first thing in the morning while I drank my coffee and ate some breakfast. And the movie is very racist. It's not terrible. So it's like, I think people sometimes forget that it was made a long time ago with definitely different values from people. And there's no way they could put it out now. They'd get absolutely burned. But the basic concept is this rich family has former slaves, but the slaves are just so happy. They just want to hang out and stick around anyways. And so they do real bad kind of caricatures of black folks back then. And they're all talking. I won't even pretend to do the voices, but the slavery black person voice.
Yeah.
And so the young rich kid, the older black former slave, starts telling him all these stories about Briar Rabbit and how he managed to escape the fox and the bear. And it helps teach the kid like life lessons. And so there's nothing other than the fact that how everybody's portrayed that's really racist, because they're teaching them good lessons and they're singing songs like zippity doo dah, and so on and so forth. But I can see why Disney's a little bit embarrassed by it, but we can't change our past. And if I took, just for kicks and giggle, I typed in Song of the South on Twitter on May 4th because that was the day I watched it.
Right.
And people were using the May the 4th be with you hashtag and the Disney hashtag to talk about Song of the South on that day, telling them that you should cancel Disney, get rid of it, because we live in a cancel culture. Get rid of Disney. They're the worst for a movie they made like 80 years ago.
It's like, why they still have that ride?
Yeah, how dare you? There was a lot of that. How can they have this ride? I'm like, nobody even knows that this ride's really associated to it, especially the younger generation. But yeah, it is kind of actually surprising though that they haven't changed it to have some new characters involved.
Dude, speaking of Star Wars Day,
yeah,
I had like a whole argument with my wife, dude.
Oh yeah,
because I woke up and like, hey babe, may the 4th be with you, And then she's like, you're so silly. And then she's like, her May 4th is more on the line of Doctor Who.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Doctor Who thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's like, this is my May 4th, And then she's like, showing me a picture of like the 4th Doctor and stuff like that. I'm like,
oh,
that doesn't even make sense. I'm like, okay, we say May the 4th be with you because it's a play on word with May the Force be with you, right?
Right.
They use it along like all over the movie. And do they even use like May the 4th or something like that in Doctor Who? Like, I don't know. And she's like, no, it's because he's the 4th Doctor. I'm like,
could you do that? How many doctors are there? Couldn't you make every single doctor be why does it have to be May?
That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. Like,
could it be June 4th or July 4th? Well, no, July 4th is taken.
Yeah. So it's like, you could use any day. You could use anything that has numbers associated in your argument, right? I'm like,
I didn't see Doctor Who trending on Twitter, but I saw May the 4th trending on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
It was the whole thing. The next day with Revenge of the 5th.
Yeah, 5th Doctor, right there. Maybe our Doctor Who fans out there will let us know. I don't get it. They can
school us on how we missed out on the 4th Doctor.
Yeah, and the 5th, I guess.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but
yeah, that's news to me. I've never heard that.
Yeah, me too.
Since we're already in the healthy stream, over on Disney Plus, I saw that they're working on, and I don't know if this is a Disney Plus show or if it's just going to be a movie, but they're making a new Iron Man franchise. Did you see any of that trending?
Oh, I've seen like how she looks like and stuff like that, but I never really dived deep into that production side of it.
Yeah, so I guess the script's already sort of written. They've started working on who they're going to hire, casting and things like that. Yeah. And it's called Ironheart. And so Ironheart, the comic, is based off of I think a 15-year-old African female that's super good at engineering. She's like crazy smart, and she's so far ahead. She's like in MIT or some sort of school like that, and she creates her own version of the Iron Man suit, and because it works so good that she renames it Iron Heart and starts like helping with crime in her area. So that's kind of the idea. So I thought that sounded pretty cool. It's funny how like
Yeah.
a lot of comic book guys get real butthurt about female superheroes. Like every time there's a female superhero, they get all like wound up and start throwing out
Why?
terms like SJW and things like that.
Yeah.
And I noticed that they were so worked up. How dare they have an Ironheart movie before they have a War Machine movie? He's been around so much longer. And it's like, bro, War Machine was in a ton of movies.
Yeah.
What's wrong with them introducing a new character? I don't know why people care so much about what age, ethnicity, gender, superheroes are. It's like it's a superhero. That's a good thing. Why are we complaining?
It's like, who wants to see a solo War Machine movie anyways? Come on.
I don't know. I mean, if they did it right, I don't care. Like I said, I'm down for any superhero movie. Like Marvel has done such a good job. They've kind of earned my respect at this point.
Yeah.
And so if they put it out, I'd probably drag my behind to the theater and watch it. And so like, it's so funny that people get worked up over like stuff like that. It's like, if they want to bring out, and part of it too is they've got you. The guy that's complaining, listen to me. If you're listening right now, Mr. Complainy guy on Twitter that doesn't like it when they use like different people of ethnicities, you don't like it when they have female superheroes, guess what? They've already got you. They've already made your movies. You're already hooked. They're not trying to get you again. They're trying to get the next person up. They want to get those young female audience. They want to get the younger, newer audience. They want to get all these other people that are already watching superhero movies. And I don't know why they don't get that. It's like idiots. Freaking idiots. Making me complain this whole episode. It's my venting episode.
You know what's next?
What?
I was watching Kim's Convenience, my favorite show. And the whole opening scene was Mr. Kim. His customer was like a gender neutral person.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you he? Are you she?" No, it's they. You call me they
them,
or them. Then he's like, "But there's only one of you." So funny,
that is pretty funny. It's confusing to me too, but I say each to their own. Why does everybody have to complain?
So that's next, man.
Yeah, I only like to complain about the complainers. So that's my thing. That's all I had, I think. And well, technically I have something that's kind of Disney related. Did you also see that I don't know if it's a reboot or if it's just an offshoot, I almost want to say, of Pirates of the Caribbean. And they're making a new Pirates of the Caribbean, but not with Johnny Depp. So they're starting basically a new cast. And I don't know, I think it's an offshoot rather than a reboot. So everybody's of course getting worked up again because it's a female lead.
Oh,
so
like,
gosh, man. How dare they have a female in a movie? Another
female lead? Come on.
So, but it's a good female. I don't know why people weren't excited. They've hired Karen Gillan. How does he say her name? Gillan, maybe? You know, she's the redheaded chick from Jumanji.
Oh, yeah. Nebula herself?
Nebula, yeah. So they've hired Nebula to star as the pirate Red, R-E-D-D, in the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And
she has red hair.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah. It's probably the main reason she got hired. So I'm excited. Honestly, they'll probably have a Johnny Depp cameo. I can't imagine that they wouldn't. Right. And I don't know why anybody would get so worked up about that either, but I saw that too. But that looked pretty cool. I'm down.
You think she gets to use her like natural accent?
Oh, I hope so, because she never uses her accent. She always feigns an American accent.
Yeah, because she's like Scottish, right? Something like that.
Yeah, she has, I think, a thick Scottish accent.
Yeah.
So yeah,
she always plays like some kind of valley girl.
Maybe that's the only accent she can do. It's easier to fake.
It's like Margot Robbie's always doing that Jersey accent.
Oh, I know. Yeah, because it's easy to fake. Yeah, they need it. I'd like to see a movie where Margot Robbie gets to just be Margot Robbie, you know? Just her own accent. I'd be down.
I don't know why people will complain about Pirates. Dude, end of the day, it's based on a ride, dude. Like, What's there to complain about? Like,
People will complain about anything. That's the thing I've learned, and I'll complain about the complainers. That should be made. I had so much today. We could almost make a segment out of it, calling "Complaining About the Complaints."
oh yeah, there's more.
No, that's it. I think. Let me look at my list here. Yeah, I think that was all I was gonna bitch and complain about. But yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I don't know why people don't get excited about fun things.
Yeah,
It's entertainment.
yeah, we're still gonna watch it. Like, in the day.
Little do they know, by episode 21, Ren and I are going to be changed out for female versions. So be ready for that.
Oh yeah.
We should totally do that. Like next episode, just have female voices do it. I love it.
No, we're just gonna have our wives do the whole episode.
Yeah. I wonder what they would even talk about.
Love is Blind. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, they'd have to talk about like reality TV. But that works. Over on Netflix, though, speaking of Love is Blind, did you see they finally released the trailer for Space Force?
Yes.
Did you watch it? Oh,
yeah.
I'm
Dude, it looks so good.
Yeah, it's totally The Office, but with Space Force. It looked like to me that there's definitely more than one episode of Steve Carell, because we talked about the fact that we'd heard that maybe Steve Carell was only in the one episode. No I'm hoping way. From that much stuff if it was that much, it would have been basically the whole first episode.
Well, it seems like for me, the whole season has him, hopefully.
Yeah, so I'm excited for Space Force. It debuts on May 29th. It's from the guy that also, same dude that made Upload, made The Office, did Parks and Rec, is making Space Force. So this guy, he hasn't done us wrong yet. So that makes me double excited. Steve Carell has had a few misses in his long career, but for the most part, he's always pretty good too.
Yeah, when he was like doing his speech, I'm like, that's Michael Scott, dude.
Totally Michael Scott.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm probably, that's the show I'm most excited for. That's upcoming is Space Force. Honestly, that one and that Solar Opposites, I think, comes out. What is today? The 7th comes out tomorrow. Solar Opposites comes out May 8th.
Oh, on Hulu?
On Hulu. Hello?
Yeah.
So yeah, Netflix, Space Force, Never Have I Ever. I think that's all I've been watching there. Did you watch the Parks and Rec? Speaking of Parks and Rec, did you watch the special?
I didn't. I saw only like clips here and there.
Dude, it was so good. I was so shocked by this. So a lot of times, even with shows you really like do stuff like this, it turns out to be hot garbage.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's fanfare a lot of time. But I thought, you know what? I like Parks and Rec. I'll watch it. Right. And it was actually really well done. They filmed the whole thing kind of like we're doing on Zoom. And they did this. The whole concept was they're just like us. They were all trapped because of coronavirus.
Right.
And they set up a phone tree. And so it was the job. So like the Amy Poehler character would call the next character and he would call the next character and so on and so forth. So they'd each call each other to make sure everything was, copacetic and everybody's good to go. But it was good. They had all the characters. They had a bunch of the funny side characters. Half the commercials they did were fake commercials for like stuff that we knew from Parks and Rec. And they opened the show with Paul Rudd reprising his small character from the show, which was really funny. Caught me so off guard.
Why my wife is my wife? Because I was watching a little bit of it, and she runs over. She's like, "That's my spirit animal."
Ha! Which one? Leslie?
No, Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like, that's why I love you. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. So if you can watch it, because I know it was on, I forget what day, April 30th. I found it on pretty much any service that has NBC, you can watch it on demand. So I ended up watching it on demand after the fact because I honestly, even though we talked about it, I forgot about it. And So I watched it the next day on demand, but I really, really enjoyed it. So I would recommend, and I hope that it's something that ends up on like, if you're streaming it somewhere that ends up at the very end, because it worked out good. And it was kind of funny how they made it work for the people that are supposed to be married, but they're actors in real life and they're not together. How they would pretend like they're in different rooms. Like Chris Pratt and Audrey Plaza are supposed to be married, but obviously in real life they don't live together.
Right.
So they did a whole thing where they pretended that Chris Pratt had accidentally locked himself in the shed and couldn't get out. So that way he was able to do it from a different area. Nice. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, because like after they did it, it was like all over the socials, right? There's like clips of that. So I've been watching little clips, but I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, so I recommend it. Anybody hasn't watched, if you liked Parks and Recs and you haven't seen this thing, it was actually pretty well done, and it was for a charity. So all the commercials that you're forced to watch, which is why I didn't mind watching on demand, because they shove those commercials in there. All that money went to this charity for COVID that they were doing. So it was a good cause too.
Dude, freaking Rob Lowe never ages, man.
Yeah, he looked exactly the same. It was funny with him, because his character is supposed to be married to Anne, I forget her name, but because they obviously in real life aren't together.
Right.
She in the show was a nurse, if you remember. So they say, "Oh, I've got her in her own room on the other side of the house because she works with COVID patients, and we don't want to risk it." So it was really smart how they did everything.
Right.
It was just well thought out. Honestly, the only person that didn't seem like they were fully on board and they kind of maybe threw in at the last minute was Aziz. I thought that Aziz's character, his looked really cheap, like he was just using his cell phone to do it, where everybody else clearly was using like a real camera. Right. And his looked, kind of lame and cheap compared to the rest of them. And his bits were kind of quick and fast.
Is he still trying to like hide?
I don't know if homie's still like been Me Too'd. I mean, we saw him do his stand-up special after that, so I kind of figured he was past all that. But I don't know. It was still good. I still highly recommend the show.
Right.
I liked it. I think that's. Oh no, I almost forgot. Quibi, Quick Bites. I also noticed there's a funny commercial on Quibi when you watch it that it's like Quibi and Charmin bring to you blah 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 episode, and the Charmin bear is like getting ready to take a big fat dump, and the little baby Charmin bear is like, "Dad, when are you coming out?" And he's like, "In a Quibi." And the kid's like, "Yeah, right." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe in a few Quibbies." So they're like totally pitching the show. It's like this is the network to poop to.
Dude, you called it out.
I sure did. Quibi, the network to take a dump to. But they're still introducing new shows, which is so amazing. We highlighted or mentioned it, I think, at last episode or episode 2 ago. But they were reinventing Reno 911, one of my all-time favorites from way back when. And it's back. So I think the first 5 or 6 episodes have already come out, and I've watched all 5 or 6 episodes because I love me some Reno 911. And it's just as funny as it was before. I think maybe partly my humor's changed a little bit, so it's maybe not as funny to me. But like the way they set up the show, the jokes, everything's exactly the same. All the same characters. The actors are pretty good. I was surprised that for the most part, almost all of them look the same. The only person that really looks dramatically different is the black guy. And he looks like he got stung by a handful of bees. So he got a little fat, but that happens to the best of us. So we'll let it go. But otherwise, that show is funny. They have good guest stars. It's still really silly, and they're quick, 7-minute episodes.
Is this another 10-parter?
I'm assuming it's probably 10 episodes. Like I said, they've only released maybe the first half so far. But it seems like they're letting out an episode every day. So I've been watching it every day at lunchtime while I eat my salad. I watch me some Reno 911.
So they do one a day?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I recommend it. It's still pretty funny. I wish there was an easier way to find the original Reno 911, but that leads me perfectly into my next part because Reno 911 was originally on Comedy Central. Oh, yeah. And Comedy Central is owned by Viacom. And Viacom, is, you may or may not know, guests out there, the audio nuts in the world, owns MTV, VH1, BET, Nickelodeon, a lot of networks. And I've been a big fan and proponent of talking about streaming rather than having cable or satellite, and how YouTube TV was kind of my streaming choice. That was the one I liked the most. Well, today, then, what are you doing? Killing flies?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were clapping for my today. I'm like, thank you. Today, they announced that YouTube TV and Viacom have reached a deal to bring all of Viacom's channels to YouTube TV with no extra charge. So starting this month sometime, they didn't say when, they said May though, sometime in May, we'll be getting Comedy Central, MTV, BET, Nickelodeon, all that jazz. So I am so pumped. That means my wife can watch all her dumb MTV reality shows, and I'll finally be able to watch Reno 911 on demand.
But wasn't that your number one complaint from your wife? There's no MTV
That was the number one
anywhere.
thing. Yeah. We
Yeah,
used to always do the free trial of Sling or Fubo or PlayStation when it existed, just so
yeah,
we could watch MTV, because YouTube TV has everything across the board. It's by far the best one. It works great. I mean, if they want to throw me a sponsorship, I would talk about them forever. But the one thing that was always hurting them is they had no MTV or BT or VH1 or any of that stuff.
right,
And so, but now they do, and I'm super pumped about it. So that's going to be a win-win for me. I'm sure all this means, though, is eventually they're going to raise the price on us.
right.
They're
Well, how
already
much
one
are
of
you
the more
paying now?
expensive ones. Yeah, it's $50, I think, $50 a month.
Okay, that's about like same way everybody else, right?
Yeah, they're all kind of catching up. I saw that Sling used to be the real cheap one, but they just had a price hike. I had to go back and really look and see how much it was, because they were pretty
Yeah,
cheap. But Sling made it so you could kind of buy chunks of channels and kind of build it the way you wanted. But I saw that they lost 14% of their viewers overnight with their price hike. So people are being kind of careful with their pennies right now. So, but I
yeah.
think they're all kind of equaling out.
Well, at least we know that we don't charge people to listen to our podcast. So
That's right. Completely free. Well,
yeah,
yeah, because you listen to it on Anchor for free. I think you obviously have to pay for Spotify, but if you listen on Spotify, you might just get stuck with some extra commercials. But yeah, you can listen to it just about anywhere. Speaking of commercials, I think now seems like the perfect time to take a quick commercial break. And we'll be right back with our I got a couple news jacuzzi stories. Mr. Tom Cruise is going to space. I got a hit on some murder hornets. Nick Cage is going to star in my all-time favorite movie. Taika Waititi is bringing the noise. And have you guys heard of Will McQuayla? I hadn't, but Ren told me all about it and got me excited. So we'll catch up with you on the other side of this break. And we're back. Oh, I have a quick thing I want to talk about real quick before we go into the news jacuzzi.
yeah.
So this isn't a tasty trailer yet. This is just, we're gonna call this tasty news, because it's not. It almost, I guess it could be news jacuzzi. It's pop culture news. But you know how The Rock and Emily Blunt are getting ready to star in
The Jungle Cruise.
the Jungle Cruise, another Disney ride. So maybe they should make a new movie and call it Splash Mountain, starring like The Rock and like Vin Diesel or something, and it could just be them like playing in a tub. I don't know. And they're like, no, it's not the Song of the South, it's The Rock. But Emily Blunt and The Rock are getting ready to star in the Jungle Cruise, which hasn't even come out yet. But they together, because apparently they're have such good chemistry on screen,
Yeah.
that they've been hired as another combo to be in another movie, a brand new movie that they're just writing based on a comic book, which
Ooh.
are my favorite kind of movies.
Yeah.
Have you heard this news at all? Do you know what I'm getting to?
No.
Oh
I saw
man,
like a clip, like thumbnail somewhere. I just went scroll through
you
it.
scroll right past it.
Yeah.
So The Rock and Emily Blunt are getting ready to star in a new movie called Ball and Chain. And the concept, I had to look it up because I'm like, well, I've never heard of the Ball and Chain comic. So I actually looked it up. It's by an independent publisher. I
Sounds
think,
dirty.
yeah, no, not dirty. I think they're relating to the term ball and chain. Like, sometimes like, I got to ask the old ball and chain, because that was always the joke back in the old days when people got married.
It
You know,
sounds to me like a 50 Shades of Grey sort of thing.
it's not like your
Go get the
chain.
ball and chain.
I thought you meant like, I got to chain up my balls because I'm into it. It's one of my shades of gray. But no, I mean, that's a pretty old time saying. The ball and chain was always your significant other. You're like, I can't do anything without the ball and chain because we're connected together, kind of thing. And which works perfectly for this guy's concept. And sometimes when I hear a concept that's so good, it pisses me off that I didn't think about it. Like,
Right.
oh, how come I didn't come up with that? The concept for Ball and Chain, the comic, I don't know if the movie will turn out to be good or not, but the comic is so solid that I was like, how come I didn't come up with this? So basically, it's your typical superhero comic. Something happens to this couple, a married couple, and they end up getting these powers. And like, oh my God, we have these amazing superpowers. And right away, because they both get hit with whatever it is, they give them the powers. They're able to kind of fight off like superheroes right away. And they're like, this is so awesome. And then they go off on their own to do their things. Like one's at work, one's at home, whatever it might be. And they
Right.
try to like save the day, only to realize their superpowers don't work. And they're like, what the hell's going on? I thought I had superpowers. And it turns out the only time their superpowers work are when they're together. They have to be side by side. Therefore, they are the ball and chain together. And so It's such a clever concept that they have these superpowers, but they only work if they work together as a couple. And so I thought that's kind of cool. That means The Rock and Emily Blunt are going to play a married couple with superpowers, and the only time that kicks in is when they're as a couple.
That's cool. So no divorce, huh?
Yeah, no, well, you can't break up, but you can imagine all the jokes that'll go along with it. In fact, I might even buy the graphic novel. I saw was on Amazon. It's fairly inexpensive, and it looks like it's a completed series. So it was a short run comic of like 20 books or something. It has a start, beginning, and finish, and they sell it, I think, in 4 graphic novels. So you get 5 comics in each graphic novel. And you can buy them on Amazon. So I might invest in 1 or 2 to see if I like it.
Kind of reminds me of that one movie that Will Smith did, Hancock.
Oh, did you like Hancock? I remember that movie, but I remember not liking it, and I honestly can't remember why I didn't like it.
I kind of liked it.
What was the concept? Remind me.
Well, basically, he was like an emo, super powered human being, right? Like Superman sort of thing. But he's just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a hero.
He's kind of a douchey hero, like the boys.
Yeah. But the whole concept is because he's all mad and douchey because he had to leave his wife. Because when they're together, their power is so strong that they cause like hurricanes and shit like that, or something like really big. So they can't be together. So
it's the opposite of ball and chain.
Yeah. So they have to be separated. And when they're separated, they're like super powered.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I think you know where that's streaming? I feel like I should give that another chance.
I mean, when I watched it, I liked it. I don't know.
You make it sound so much better than I remember it. I remember the basic concept, and then I remember thinking I didn't like it. Maybe because I went in thinking that it was going to have way more superhero stuff, and it was like not that kind of superhero movie.
Right.
And so maybe I should give it another chance. I'm more involved now. Maybe I'd get it better.
Yeah.
So, so my first story in the news jacuzzi as we dip our toes in what's bubbling up is I read that Tom Cruise is teaming up with Elon Musk and NASA to film a movie in space. Did you see this?
Yeah. It's like, why can't you film me here and pretend space? Like,
well, because Tom Cruise is famous for doing his own stunts, right? He's always been like, I always do my own stunts. You want me to fly a plane? I'll learn how to fly a plane. You want me to jump a motorcycle over a cliff? I'll jump that motorcycle over a cliff. And so you could just see him now going, oh, you want to make a space movie?
Guess where we're going.
I got you, bro. I love it. It's the greatest gimmick I've heard in forever because, can you imagine when they promote this thing actually filmed in space? So let me ask you, what are the flat earthers going to do when they see like Earth from real space with Tom Cruise? Will they just say, no, it's fake. It's still in the studio.
Dude, he does his own stunts, man. It's true.
Yeah, I can't wait, honestly. I wonder what it's going to be called. Like, I have no idea. It's like such a basic concept. I have no idea yet, other than the fact that it's Tom Cruise in space. I mean, they could just call it Tom Cruise in space and I'd watch it.
What if it's like the next like Mission Impossible?
Oh, yeah. It's impossible in space. Or maybe it'll tie in with the Fast and Furious. Didn't they say they're going to film that in space?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he does all the space parts. Everybody else is still on the ground somewhere.
It'd be funny, like in that Space Force trailer where the spaceship is going up and it explodes. Yeah. They're like,
no, Tom Cruise! We lost him! Yeah. Elon Musk is in the corner weeping. That guy's gone crazy, by the way. Have you seen his tweets lately? He's a real weirdo.
Yeah, like naming his kid? That's crazy.
Yeah, pronounce his kid's name. Do it right now. I'll give you $1,000.
How does it spell again?
I don't know. It was a bunch of jibber jabber as far as I could tell. It was like
AK-12.
It was weird.
X12.
It's gonna be like Prince. Remember when Prince changed his name to just a symbol, but it still meant Prince. So I wonder what his name is probably like Bob. That's just how they spell it.
We'll just call him X12 for now.
Well, whatever this kid's name is, his mom's name is Grimes, so it all checks out.
But I like some Grimes. I like me some Grimes.
You're a Grimes fan? My kids are Grimes fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. She's fine. She's no Alice in Wonderland, but whatever. My next story, because this is like the best list of news ever, has to deal with, we were all excited that 2020 we thought had given us the best it could give. There could be nothing worse during 2020 because, we'd already been hit with the entire country of Australia burning to the ground, We'd already seen the plague. You get that every 100 years, so we'd had ourselves a plague. And now, because 2020 is like, thanks 2020, you can't do any worse. 2020 is like, hold my beer.
Hold my
And
beer.
we've been introduced to murder hornets.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it. I'm like, what the hell's a murder hornet? So I looked it up, and murder hornets aren't any fun at all. So murder hornets don't technically murder everybody, but they have such a toxic venom or stinger or whatever the hell you want to give it that people are very allergic to them, and they can kill you dead way more than other hornets. But what's way worse is murder hornets don't just murder people. These dumb fucks murder bees. And I don't know if they heard, but I know that we all kind of need the bees to keep living.
Have you seen the bee movie? Come on.
I feel like maybe the murder hornets are just here to put us out of our misery. And they're like, you know what? This world sucks for these poor people. Let's kill all the bees. They'll die next. We'll be done with it. And so I'm sad to tell everybody we may never make it to like episode 200, as we roll in episode 20.
Yeah.
Because the murder hornets are going to kill the friggin' bees and we're going to be toast.
The animal uprise, man. It's happening.
Yeah. So.
Aren't they pretty big too?
Yeah, they're sizable. They're, I don't know, like 1 inch to 2 inches long. I saw one very satisfying video where somehow a praying mantis got a hold of one and was eating it. And I'm like, yeah, you go, praying mantis. I always knew mantis would save the day.
Oh, dude, that's like a whole rabbit hole, man. There's like a whole series of praying mantis versus another thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Okay. There you go. That's homework for all the audio nuts out there. I'll do it with you. We'll go look up praying mantis as soon as we're done listening to this cast and watch them eat whatever it is they eat, because it sounds like they're pretty much badasses.
Yeah, I watched one where it's praying mantis versus a leech. Who wins?
Who won, the praying mantis?
Of course.
Yeah, the mantises are pretty badass. One time I came home and I had a random praying mantis hanging on the handle of my front door. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta get to my front door. And so I'm trying to scooch this thing. And he started doing all those like karate moves. And he's like, whoa! Yeah. And he didn't want any part of it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Those things, I don't know how badass they actually are, but they act like the most badass insect you've ever seen.
Yeah. I saw this one video too where dude was like raising praying mantis as pets,
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, there's like a pink one that looks just like a lotus flower. I'm like, what the hell? Not a lotus flower, a cherry blossom.
That's super cool.
Damn, that's pretty.
Nice. Well, now I kind of want a praying mantis. Maybe when you get sick of your fish and it dies, you can make it a praying mantis tank.
Oh yeah. Next hobby.
My next news story has to go back to my all-time favorite film in the recent days, which is Tiger King. So Tiger King, as everybody hopefully knows by now, is a huge, huge documentary hit over on Netflix, starring one Joe Exotic, who tended to abuse animals, young men, those kinds of things. And they've decided to make a fictional version of this, which is awesome. I'm all for it. And they've cast the star. They've cast Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm trying to. You have to tell me your thoughts, because I actually asked the Twitter community and a few of them commented, but they've hired the one and only Nick Cage to play Joe Exotic. What do you think about that?
Dude, I like that casting personally.
Dude,
it's gonna be great, dude.
That's so funny. I can't wait to see what it's like, because Nick Cage has become like the king overactor. He's so good at overacting. Yeah. To see him do the country gay accent is going to be a win in my book all by itself.
Yeah.
I saw that a lot of people wanted, I forget her last name, Wendy McSomething, but she's the mom on Goldberg's, and she's also on Reno 911 as one of the cops, to play Carol Baskins. And because she would be perfect. She could totally kill a Carol Baskins type. Baskins. But she said, which gave a little news away that I never caught on before, that she can't be in the Tiger King because it's a CBS show and she works for a network called ABC.
Wait, hold on. Tiger King is CBS?
Well, the fictional version is that's at least what she said. She said she couldn't
Oh,
be on it because it was being produced by CBS, and she's on ABC. So that's kind of I thought that was kind of an
oh.
interesting factoid.
I don't, for some reason in my mind, it was going to be like a Netflix movie.
Well, I mean, maybe it will be. Maybe they're working in conjunction with them. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it turns out. I asked when I heard about it, I thought it was going to be a movie theater movie. I was like down to go see me some Nick Cage play Joe Exotic.
And it's on CBS. I'll never get to watch it then.
Yeah, so I don't know that it is. She just because I think CBS and Viacom are owned by the same company. So actually, I think Viacom owns CBS, so that means it could really be on anything. It could show up on MTV.
Right.
It could show up on any of this stuff. Maybe Comedy Central. So it'll be interesting to see where it ends up. But yeah, I think she would have been good casting. I also heard what's her face from Saturday Night Live might play Carol Baskins, the lady from Ghostbusters, the female Ghostbusters.
Oh, Kate McKinnon?
Yeah, Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
And she doesn't look as much like Carol Baskins, but she's proven that she's pretty good with voices. So I feel like she could be in there going, "Hey, cool cats and kittens," pretty good. Honestly, the perfect Carol Baskins would be my middle daughter. So if there's any casting directors out there and you're like, what does his middle daughter look like? She looks like a young Carol Baskins, and she's weird like her too. I love her to pieces, but she would be perfect. I know she doesn't listen, so I'm happy to give her crap.
You should like let her do the accent and do like a line.
We'll bring her in. Like. She's always wanted to be a guest, so I'll bring her in. Maybe she could be our next guest if we don't do the Star Wars historian. We'll bring her in to be our next guest, and I'll have her I'll pretend to be the casting director and have her try out for the part of Carol Baskins because I'm pretty sure she could kill it. She has the right mentality. She loves herself some kitties.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. The next piece of news stars with the one and only Taika Waititi, whose name I would like to point out I could pronounce correctly consistently. Taika has been hired by the Disney Corporation to write and direct a brand new Star Wars movie, which I have to tell you gives me tingles in all the right places. I have force tingles all about it.
Oh, nice. All your midichlorians are like...
My midichlorians are firing at full speed. What do you think about that?
They're not your goosebumps. They're your midichlorians.
my midichlorian bumps. What do you think?
It makes my Star Wars pants tight, dude.
Nice.
Taika Waititi, let's go.
Yeah, I feel like Taika, Jon Favreau, who else? There's a few other people that Disney has kind of fallen for that I really appreciate. They've been doing really well in the Marvel, and now they're moving them over into the Disney world. And it's good to see. Like Favreau killed it, setting up the Avengers and Iron Man and the whole kind of MCU, honestly, with his tone and jokiness and stuff that he did. And then they rolled him into The Mandalorian, and he freaking killed it. Taika obviously fixed the Thor movies, made the best one of my all-time favorite MCU movies. And then I think that they'll move him into Star Wars, and he'll be able to kill it. And I'm kind of hoping that when they're bringing all these kind of like successful Marvel people over into the Star Wars side, that we get maybe some more humor. Because I told you that I was just now starting to watch Rogue One. That's the only thing I really don't like about Rogue One is they took it too serious. To me, Star Wars is a space cowboy opera. It needs to be silly and fun. And I want to have awesome special effects, but have a good time.
Right. Plus, Taika directed a few episodes of the Mandalorians, and those were the best episodes. Yeah,
he was the voice of IG-11 too.
Yeah.
So let's go, Taika. We love you. And then my last story is one that you actually told me about, and I had to look this up. I'm like, what the hell is this? So you were telling me about this. What's funny is this apparently is old news. Like I'd never heard of it. I'm assuming it was new to you because that's why you shared it with me.
Yeah.
I was telling the same middle daughter I was just making fun of. I was telling her, I go, have you ever heard of Lil Miquela? And she's like, oh yeah, you mean that robot influencer? And so she totally knew. Apparently,
exactly.
This AI influencer has been around since like 2018.
I know, it's like news to me, dude. I'm like, what the hell is this trash?
So tell us about it. How did you come up with this?
Well, we're talking about like some kind of like robots at stores, You know how they help you. You like,
Oh, is this from Upload?
yeah,
You made you think about because they have those stores, the robots in the store.
yeah. And then we were eating dinner, and my sister's like, "Oh, do you know there's a robot influencer?" I'm like, "What the hell is that?" Imagine a robot that's also an influencer. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
because
and she
remember,
has millions
yeah,
of followers.
because it reminds me of that one robot that was doing an interview, right? In my mind, it was like kind of like that, where that,
Yeah.
and then I was like, no, this is an influencer. Like, what? She talks and stuff like that, or what? And I looked it up on IG. I'm like, what the hell? She has so many followers. All her photos are like posed like a actual person. And sometimes when you look at it, you're like, whoa, is she real?
Yeah, I mean, it's so strange because I read a whole article after you told me about it. I read a whole article about her. Her name is Lil Miquela. I think she has 1.8 million
Yeah.
followers on Instagram. She's considered a pretty high level influencer, and she was created by this former DJ in his he's got like a software company that does 3D renderings and things like that. So they use a whole combination of things, and I don't know, like they call it AI, but I'm almost thinking it's more of a character that's been made by this marketing group. And
Yeah.
so it looked like it was a combination of, I think that they have a real doll that they take to places. I don't mean real doll like the real sex dolls, but like an actual Michaela type doll, and they pose it in front of things and stuff. And then they also have one, because I watched a video where they do full 3D renderings of it, where they basically make it look like she's places and she's not really there at all. And then they take the photographs. But yeah, they had her do interviews. They hired a woman to be the voice, all these things. And I think it's
Yeah.
fully scripted, but it's so clever because these people are making millions of dollars off this now. They've gotten all sorts of deals where Miquela has promoted different types of brands, like Versace and
Yeah.
Gap and
All the
like
high end
famous
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And kids love it. A lot of people, because of how I think part of it almost speaks to the whole influencer community. Like when we look at influencers, I think all of us at this point look at those pictures and those people and think, well, that's not real. That's not a real life. They're always somewhere amazing, tropical, wearing amazing things. And already, even though it's real people, we kind of think it's a put on, right? And so when we see Miquela, and that's probably what they're really speaking to, this thing is completely fake, but we in our minds are almost like, this feels just as real as those do. And so you're like, is
Right.
she real, is she not real, even though it's quite obvious when you look at it that she's not real. But your mind, I think, is having a hard time comprehending it because we're used to almost influencers not being real.
Right. Well, some of the pictures they post looks just like she's been CG'd.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
yeah.
definitely a bunch of CG going on.
Yeah.
But that's why I wonder, like the whole AI, they use the word AI and robotics. I'm not sure it's really any of that. It's more
Yeah.
like conceptual art by this company, and it's really well done. In fact, they did something, I guess, last year that was super clever, where they had someone interviewing her, and they asked her, like almost like accusatory, "You're not even an AI. You have someone controlling you named such and such," naming the marketing company. And then she got all mad and supposedly broke up with the marketing company. And then some other person later on hacked her account with a hard right wing a robotic AI influencer. I forget
Yeah.
the name. Some other woman was dressed in like a Murica bikini. And they did this
Nice.
whole thing. Everybody's, oh no, bring back Miquela. What happened? And everybody's like, and they were able to create these whole events based on this. And then they kind of brought her back. She reconciled with her people. It was like this whole storyline. It's almost like
Right.
WWE.
In a way, ain't it kind of like mocking actual influencers, you know? It's like, dude, you guys are just, you aren't that important to where we can make anything an influencer. Watch, we're gonna make a robot and she's gonna have more followers than you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah, it totally
Yeah.
worked. And what's funny is they've almost retired Miquela, so I was following up on it, and they still post with her, but they've kind of, the marketing firm has pushed her aside for a new male AI influencer. So they've created another one. I can't remember the name off my top of my head, but it's the same idea, but now it's a new character. So
Right.
they're continually making their story comprehensive and interesting. And so, yeah, I think you're exactly right. For all these influencers that are kind of full of themselves, They need to realize they could be replaced with a toaster at any time.
Right. It's just how you market it, right?
Yeah, it's really all about marketing. It's what we do more than what they do. So like, I don't have to be a good looking guy. I could just find somebody and I can make this presence. We've seen this before. You and I have talked about Poppy in the past, and Poppy was the same idea. She wasn't a real anything, but she had a whole team behind her that made her into this weird vibe person until she became big and famous. So you can take any pretty dumb, airheaded person and get the right team behind them and make them famous.
Right.
So, but you got me thinking about AI, and I actually stumbled across this other article I wanted to touch on before we cut out for the episode. And it's really interesting. So this is actually real AI. There's this new thing called MuseNet, and MuseNet is a deep neural network. Say that 6 times fast.
Deep
neural, like your brain, not mural like a painting. MuseNet is a deep neural network that can generate 4-minute musical compositions with 10 different instruments and can be combined with styles from Mozart to the Beatles to whoever. And what they've done that's really crazy is they got this AI and they've loaded it with every kind of instrument. They've loaded it with all these different musical types. And you or I can jump on there and we can basically create new music from these other things because it's different enough. Evades any kind of copyright laws. So there's there's questions whether or not, I know we might have some brand new music for our next podcast.
Yeah, 10%. Let's go.
Yeah, because people are like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of interesting. They're saying that, and I listened to a bunch of the samples that they've made, and this AI takes all this stuff and creates what it thinks is the best version because it is learning as it goes. So every time someone creates a new piece of music, it learns from it. And some of the music it's putting out is better than things that are on the radio right now.
Damn.
So if you think it's weird that we have an AI Instagram influencer, I don't think it'll be shocking if the next couple of year or two, that we have top 10 music that's created solely by a computer. The computer thinks of it, it creates it, and it's based on learning from other music. And then they're hits because we're all idiots and we'll be into it.
It turns out it's just like Donald Glover behind the scenes making music.
I know, right? It turns out that there is no Donald Glover. He's an AI the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a comedian. How did you guys never know?
Yeah. Well, we're only like 10 years from upload, so
yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, MuseNet wasn't explicitly programmed with our understanding of music, but instead discovered patterns of harmony, rhythm, and style by learning to predict the next token in hundreds of thousands of MIDI files. MuseNet uses the same general purpose unsupervised technology as a GP2, a large-scale transformer model trained to predict the next token in the sequence, whether it's audio or text. And it's pretty cool. I'm on the MuseNet. It's called openai.com. So if anybody want to go check out openai.com is the website. And you can compose your own music right away. And I might, like I said, play around with it, see if we can come up with a new fancy intro. But it's a kind of a way to take copyrighted music and change it enough. And you're not even doing anything. You're literally just saying, like, for instance, they said, one of their examples, they said, take Chopin and mix it with Bon Jovi. And that's all they told the AI. And the AI did it, and the song is really good. And it's both, you recognize both Chopin and Bon Jovi, but at the same time, it's neither. It's something new.
And it's safe to use.
And it's safe to use. So yeah, I recommend everybody check it out. I'm definitely going to check it out. But yeah, the world is changing, good and bad.
Well, like we always say, everything's a remix.
Everything is
You're literally going to remix this to make our new opening.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Especially if we can't get in trouble for it until we do, and then we won't use it anymore. The key when someone decides to sue us is remember we don't have any money, so be nice. But that's all I had. Do you have anything else?
No. I need to catch all my shows. That's what I need to do.
All right. So with that, we bid everybody adieu. Stay healthy. Watch out for the murder hornets. I'm sure by the time we get to our next episode, we'll have something else trying to kill us. In the meantime, hang out with your favorite AI, and we will catch you on the flippity flip. Freaking idiots making me complain this whole episode.